Okay, see here. In basic electrical engineering, in first unit, we are having electric circuit elements. See the electric circuit elements R, L, and C. Voltage and current sources. We have completed voltage and current sources. KVL, KCL is completed. KVL is applied in mesh analysis. KCL is applied in nodal analysis. And analysis of simple circuits with DC excitation. So analysis of simple circuits means that is mesh analysis, nodal analysis, current divide rule, voltage divide rule, star delta networks. All these things we have completed. Next we will go for the theorems. So three theorems are there in your syllabus. That is superposition theorem, Thevenin's theorem, and Norton's theorem. We have to discuss these three. First you will see superposition theorem. Later we will go for the Thevenin and Norton's. Okay. So the three theorems are there in your syllabus. First one is superposition theorem. Second one is Thevenin's theorem. Third one is Norton's theorem. Three theorems are there. First one, superposition theorem. Second one, Thevenin's. Third one, Norton's. So theorems are used to easily solve any type of complicated network. Why theorems are used means, even if you are having the complicated networks, if you apply theorems, we can easily get the answer. For simple circuits, it may appear as some lengthy procedure, but for the complicated circuits, it will be useful. Theorems are very useful for solving the networks. So first you will see the superposition theorem. First you will go for superposition theorem. So I don't draw the circuit. With an example, I will explain superposition theorem. Write down the problem. Determine the current I. Determine the current I in 3 ohms. Determine the current I in 3 ohms using superposition theorem. Using superposition theorem. Determine the current I in 3 ohms using superposition theorem. See here, in the problem he is asking us to determine the current I in 3 ohms by using superposition theorem. So, what superposition theorem states is this is the linear bilateral network. This is linear bilateral network. In the linear bilateral network, the current in any branch. So remember one thing, in theorems, they ask to determine the current in any one branch, not in all branches. Please note down, note, NOTE, note. In theorems, in theorems, in theorems, it is asked only one branch. It is asked to determine current in only one branch, not in all branches. Okay, whether it is superposition theorem or Thevenin's theorem or Norton's theorem or maximum power transfer theorem or compensation theorem, Millman's theorem, whatever may be the theorem. In your syllabus, you are having only 3 theorems. First one is superposition theorem, second one is Thevenin's theorem, third one is Norton's theorem. First, you are discussing superposition theorem. I had told one note point. In theorems, it is asked to determine current in any only one branch. It is in this problem they are asking in 3 ohms. Sometimes they may ask in 1 ohm also. Sometimes they may ask in 2 ohms also. So in problem they'll ask only to determine current in only one branch, in one resistor or one branch. Okay. Now I have determined the current in 3 ohms. This current line. First, what I will do is here how many voltage sources are there?
2.
How many voltage sources?
2, sir.
2 voltage sources are there. In superposition theorem, what we have to do is we have to consider only one voltage, one source at a time. I had to consider only one source at a time. See here, first I am considering 10 volts. Second 5 volts is short circuit. In the second circuit, I am considering 5 volts. This source is short circuit. Okay. In superposition theorem, what we had to do is we had to consider only one source at a time, and we had to determine the current in 3 ohms by considering 10 volts. I determine the current in 3 ohms. I determine the current in 3 ohms by considering 5 volts. I am considering only one source at a time. First, I am considering 10 volts. In the second circuit, I am considering 5 volts. If I am considering 10 volts, what I have done for this? What I have done for 5 volts in the first circuit?
Short circuited.
Short circuited. So suppose if you are having 10 voltage sources in the circuit, let us assume that 10 voltage sources are there in the circuit. We have to consider only one voltage source at a time. Remaining all 9 voltage sources, what you have to do?
Short circuit.
Short circuit.
Short circuit.
Short circuit we have to do. This is the concept in superposition theorem. Only one source is considered at a time. Remaining all voltage sources will be short circuited. Suppose if current source is there, we have to open circuit that. Suppose if 10 voltage sources and 5 current sources are there, consider only one voltage source. Remaining 9 voltage sources short circuit, and all current source, remaining 5 current sources has to be open circuited. Only one source should be there in the circuit when determining the current in the 3 ohms. In the problem he is asking in 3 ohms only. Okay, this is the concept. Write down note. Write down note. If number of voltage sources, if number of voltage sources and current sources, if number of voltage sources and current sources are present in the circuit, comma, consider only one source at a time. Consider only one source at a time. Consider only one source at a time, and remaining voltage sources will be short circuited, and remaining voltage sources will be short circuited, and the current sources will be open circuited. Remaining voltage sources will be short circuited and current sources will be open circuited. This is very important point in any theorem, not only the superposition. Thevenin's theorem also, voltage source has to be short circuited, current source has to be open circuited. Okay. Now I will determine the current in 3 ohms. See here. First, I will determine the current in the problem. This is the given problem. In the problem, he is asking current in 3 ohms, and the direction of the current is like this, upward direction. Now, I consider 10 volts. I will determine the current in 3 ohms. I will consider 5 volts, and I will determine the current in 3 ohms. Which method you can apply for determining the current? We can apply any method, whether mesh analysis or nodal analysis or current divider. Any method you can apply for determining the current in 3 ohms. Okay, there is no specifically, nobody will tell specifically to use this method for determining the current in 3 ohms. Which method can I apply? Mesh or nodal or current divider?
Nodal analysis, sir.
Nodal analysis. Okay. See, here I am applying the nodal analysis for this circuit. So here I am only one node is there. I am considering this as V1. Consider this as one node. If you consider this as the node, only one node is there. For determining the node voltage, I assume all currents are leaving from the node point. If you assume all the currents are leaving from the node point, what is this arrow? V1 minus 10 by 1 plus this arrow is moving in this direction. V1 minus 0 by 3 plus V1 minus 0 by 2. What is the value of V1? Tell me the value of V1. Please bring your calculators. Take your calculators. Calculator is very important in this subject. If you are not having calculator, purchase it. Scientific calculator, not ordinary calculator. What is the value of V1?
Sixty by 11.
60 by 11.
5.4.
How much? 5.4.
4.
But I don't want the node voltage. What I want the current in 3 volts. See the direction of current? It is in the upward direction. In the problem, he is giving in the upward direction. So I is equal to 0 minus V1 by 3. You get minus 5.4 by 3. Tell me the value. Current value.
Minus 1.8. Yes, sir.
Minus 1.8. This is your current. Let us take this is I1. Let us take this is I1. In the first circuit, I will take it as I1. In the second circuit, I will take it as I2. In the first circuit, take it as I1. I1 is equal to minus 1.8. Now, so for the first circuit, I have applied nodal analysis for determining the current in 3 ohms. In the second circuit, which method can I apply? Mesh or nodal or current divider?
Sir, nodal.
First one anyway we have applied. In the second circuit, can I use current divider? If you want to apply nodal, you can apply, no problem. Can I apply current divider?
Yes, sir.
See here, current divider means from negative to positive, current is flowing like this. Your current will flow like from negative to positive. Let us assume I is the total current flowing from this. This total current will come here and it will divide in these 2 branches. This total current is coming here and it will divide here into these 2 branches. Okay. Now I want to determine the total current. So we have to calculate the equivalent resistance from the opposite side. If source is this side, we will calculate equivalent resistance from the opposite side. If current is dividing here in these 2 branches, these 2 are parallel. 1 and 3 are parallel. 1 can be written here also. 1 and 3 are parallel. So R equivalent is equal to 1 is in parallel with 3 in series with 2. So that is the equivalent resistance. Your equivalent, if source is this side, equivalent resistance is calculated from the opposite side. Because your current is flowing from negative to positive, this current is coming here, it is dividing in these 2 branches. So 1 and 3 are parallel. Dividing means these 2 are parallel. 1 and 3 parallel in series with 2. Now simplify this.
2.7, sir.
How much?
2.75.
2 point. How much? 2 point?
0.75.
2.75. Now I have got the total resistance of the entire circuit. Now I will determine the total current of the entire circuit. Total current is equal to V by R equivalent. Your V is 5, it is 2.75.
$1.81.
1.81. Now I have got the total current. I from negative. This is the I is the total current flowing in 2 ohms. But I want the current in 3 ohms. I2. I want the current in 3 ohms. This current. So this what is the opposite branch for total current for these 2 branches is I. I is 1.81. 1.81 What is the opposite branch for 3 ohms? I2 is equal to total current into opposite branch resistance by total resistance of parallel branches. You know the formula. Total current is 1.81. What is the opposite branch for 3 ohms?
1 ohm, sir.
1 ohm.
1 by
Total resistance of parallel branches. What are the parallel branches? 1 and 3 are the parallel branches. These two are parallel. Opposite branch resistance by total resistance of parallel branches. This will give the current
0.45, sir.
0.45.
Perfect.
Now see here, this I2, actually this current is dividing in this direction. But what is the given direction in the problem?
opposite to that, so it will be minus.
This direction and this direction are opposite. That's why it is minus. Your I2 is minus. Okay. Now see here. Now we got I1 and I2. I1 is minus 1.8. I1 is equal to minus 1.8 ampere. Your I2 is minus 0.45 ampere. Now add these two. You will get I2. I is equal to I1 plus I2. If you add these two, how much you will get? Minus 1.8 minus 0.45.
Minus 2.25, sir.
Minus 2.25.
25.
So this is the current in 3 ohms. So by using superposition theorem, we had determined the current in 3 ohms. Okay. Now write down the statement of superposition theorem. Statement, side heading, superposition theorem statement. In exam, they may ask for 2 marks. Statement of superposition theorem. Write down. Any linear bilateral network, in any linear bilateral network, in any linear bilateral network, in any linear bilateral network. What do you mean by linear network? Anyone?
What, sir?
What do you mean by linear?
180.
If power is 1,
One line.
if power is 1, that is linear. See here, I power 1, V power 1. This is linear. If square is that, it is not linear. It is non-linear. If square is there, that is non-linear. If power is 2, 3, 4, 6, all these are non-linear elements, non-linear circuits. If power is 1, that is linear. I power 1, V power 1. Okay, like that. Then, okay, first you not done. In any linear bilateral network, what do you mean by bilateral?
2.
Bilateral means current can flow in any direction. See here, current can flow in this direction, current can flow in the reverse direction also. Bilateral means current can flow in any direction, in either direction. That is the meaning of bilateral. So statement I am telling, in any linear bilateral network, the current in any branch, right? The current in any branch, either this branch or this branch or this branch, any branch, one branch only I take. The current in any branch, the current in any branch, right? The current in any branch is equal to is equal to sum of currents is equal to sum of currents in this branch or the same branch, okay, is equal to sum of currents is equal to sum of currents in that particular branch, in that particular branch when considered each source separately, when considered each source separately. What is the meaning of this? See here, the current in any branch, any one particular branch, is equal to sum of currents only in this branch. In this particular branch only we are taking. We are not taking in 1 and 2. We are taking the current in 3 ohms only. The current in any branch is equal to sum of currents in that particular branch when considered each source. This source and this source separate. When considered each source separately. Is it clear? This is the statement. Read the statement. If you are having doubt, you can ask me. In any linear bilateral network, the current in any branch, only one branch they will ask in exam, either 1 ohm or 2 ohm or 3 ohm. Here in this problem, they are asking in 3 ohm. The current in any branch is equal to sum of currents in that particular branch when considered each source separately. That's all about the problem. So how can you know that my answer is correct or not? Minus 2.25 ampere. Now I'll verify. Write down verification, side heading, verification. Draw the circuit one more time. Verification. Draw the circuit one more time. So for verifying our answer minus 2.25 ampere, what I am doing is, for this entire circuit, I am applying node analysis. Now assume all the currents are leaving from this node points. That is V1 minus 10 by 1, V1 by 3 plus V1 minus 5 by 2 is equal to 0. Pi by 2 is 2.5. Tell me the value of V1.
Point 81.
Point
6.81.
6.81. Now I want the current in 3 ohms. Current in 3 ohms, I is equal to, see the arrow is in the upward direction. That is 0 minus V1 by 3. That is 0 minus 6.81 by 2. We'll get minus 2.25 ampere. Your current is I is equal to 0 minus, because current is in the upward direction. See the circuit. In the circuit, your current is flowing from 0 to V1. 0 minus V1 by 3. That is V1 is 6.81. Substitute here, you have to get the same answer. Whatever you are getting in theorem, same answer you have to get. Are you getting the same answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, approximately you'll get same answer.
Yes, sir. 2.27.
Some here 7 something you get, but it is almost same because you have not considered all the decimal values. We'll do the next one. No? Determine the current I. Determine the current I in the circuit shown in figure. Determine the current I in the circuit shown in figure. In the circuit shown in figure using superposition theorem. So they will ask only at one place to determine the current I. Determine the current I in the circuit shown in figure using superposition theorem. So how many sources are there?
Two, sir.
How many?
Two, sir.
See properly.
Sir, 3. One is voltage
sir.
and two
Yes,
are
sir. Three, sir.
current
Three.
sources.
One voltage source and two current sources.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Three, sir.
Here we'll get three circuits. First I will consider 120 ampere. If I am considering 120 ampere, what I have to do for 10 volts?
Short circuit.
It should be short circuited. 40 ampere. 40 ampere, what I have to do?
Open circuit.
Open circuit.
Open circuit, sir. Current.
Voltage sources will be short circuited. Current sources will be open circuit. See here, I am considering 120 ampere. I'm short circuiting this. I have short circuited the voltage source here. 150 ohm and current source will be open circuited. I am opening this current source. I'm shorting the voltage source here and opening the current source. So in the problem, he is asking us to determine the current line. Now I will determine the current line by considering 120 ampere. See here, what we can apply? Mesh analysis or nodal analysis or current divider. If you apply which method, we'll get easily this current I.
Divide rule, sir. Current.
Current divider. If you apply current divider rule, we can easily get the answer for I. See here, how many nodes are there?
1, sir.
One node is there. See, this current is coming here. This current 120 ampere is coming here. Suppose if this is open circuit, there is no branch here. This is open circuit. I am removing this. There is open circuit. No current will flow in the open circuit. In open circuit, your current is free. Now see here, this 120 ampere is coming here and it is dividing like this. And it is dividing in these two branches. In 50 ohm, this is the current. In 150 ohm, this is the current. Let us take this 120 ampere is divided. Let us assume this is I1. Let us assume current in this branch is I1. Now here, I1 I am determining. I1 is equal to total current into, what is the opposite branch for I1?
I, sir. I.
50 ohm.
What is the opposite branch? I1 is flowing in 150 ohms.
Opposite will be 50.
What is the opposite branch? I1 is flowing in 150. That is opposite branch resistance by current in this branch is 150. For this branch, opposite is 150. Total resistance of parallel branches. Total resistance of the parallel branches. Okay. The current in this branch, this is I1. Current in this branch is equal to opposite branch resistance by total resistance of these two parallel branches. How much you get?
30, sir.
30 amp.
How much?
30 ampere. 30, sir. 30.
30, sir. 30, sir.
Sir, 30.
Yes, sir.
30.
30, sir.
30,
30.
sir.
30.
0.
How much you are getting?
30, 30, 30, sir.
30, sir.
40.
30,
30,
30, sir.
120 divided by 50 by 200.
30.
This is 4. This is 30. 30 and minus or plus? Minus. Why minus?
Sir, I1 I is minus, I guess.
Because actual current direction is this one. But what if I got the direction? I1 is in this direction. Both are opposite. That's why minus. Your I1 is minus. Let us assume in the first circuit it is I1. Remove this. In the first circuit I1. I1 and I are in opposite direction. Your I1 and I are in opposite direction. That's why minus. Now I will consider this voltage source. I open these two. If I open these two, this branch is not there. Only 50 ohms is there. And here 10 volts is there. And here 150 is there. This is open. Okay, this is open, this is open. I am considering this voltage source. Remaining current sources will be open circuit. Then from negative to positive current will flow like this. Let us take IT. In the first circuit, I am taking it as I1. In the second circuit, I am taking it. Current always flows from negative to positive. Then what is IT? IT is equal to V by R equivalent. All are in series. In series, equivalent resistance is 50 plus 150. V is 10. 50 plus 150. In series, we can add the resistance. 50, 150 and V all are in series. In series, we can add the resistances. How much you get?
0.2.
How much?
0.05.
0.05. Positive or negative? See your I and I2 are in same direction. If it is in the same direction, it will be plus. Your I2 and I2 both are in the same in this direction. Both are same direction plus 0.05 ampere. It is plus. Now consider this 40. Voltage source should be short circuit. Now here, this current is in the downward direction. This current is coming here. This 40 ampere. It is dividing in these two branches. It is assume the current. Where I want the current? Here. Okay. Assume the current in this branch as I3. Always determine the current here only. See here only. I is here. Similarly, I is in between 150 and 150. I is in between 50 and 150. Here also, in between 50 and 150, I is there. Here also, in between 50 and 150, your I is there. Your I is there in between 50 and 150. 50 and 150, your I is there. 50 and 150, your I is there. I am assuming the current here. This 40 ampere is dividing in these two branches. Therefore, I3 is equal to the total current is 40. What is the opposite branch for I3? Where I3 is flowing? I3 is flowing in 50 ohms. Your I3 is flowing in 50 ohms. What is the opposite branch for I3?
150 ohm.
150. Divided by 50 plus 150. How much you get?
Sir, move your camera.
Sir, board is not.
Sir, can you move? Yes, sir.
See here, sorry. Your 50 ampere is coming here, and it is this sorry, 40 ampere is coming
30,
here.
sir.
40 ampere is coming here, and it is dividing in these two branches. The current flowing in these branches is I3. Let us assume the current flowing in this branch is I3. Where in between 50 and 150, I am considering this side. 50 and 150, I am considering this current. I want this current. I. If you want this current,
30,
this current
sir.
30, sir. 30 ampere.
30, sir.
okay, 30
30
ampere.
ampere.
150. Opposite branch for this is 150 by this one. 30 ampere. Plus or minus?
Plus only, sir.
Positive.
I3 is plus or
Plus,
minus?
sir.
Plus. Because
sir.
see, this I direction is also in this direction. I3 is also in the same direction. Your I and I3 are in the same direction. It is plus. Okay. Now add all these three currents. First one is I1 plus I2 plus I3. I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Your I1 is minus 30. Your I2 is 0.05.
0.05.
Sir, 60.0.
0.05.
0.05.
Okay.
Okay, plus 30 minus 30 is going to be cancelled. You will get 0.05. So now I will go for verification of this, whether the answer is correct or not. See here. So for verification, I can use anything, whether mesh analysis, nodal analysis, current divide rule, source transformation, anything you can do. You can do anything for verification. This is not the theorem. Verification is not our theorem. We are verifying whether your answer is correct or not. If you apply source transformation, I can easily verify the answer. We can also apply nodal analysis also. We can apply mesh analysis. We can apply current divider, anything. But here, for simplicity, I am using source transformation. Convert this into voltage source. Convert this into voltage source. 120 into 50. V is equal to I into R. How much?
6,000.
6,000.
Yes, sir. 6,000.
See, arrow is in the downward. From negative to positive current will flow. And this resistance I am keeping in series. Whatever the resistance in parallel with current source, I am keeping it in series. Convert this into voltage source. Arrow is in the downward, minus to plus. What is the resistance here? 150. Resistance in parallel with current source will come in series with the voltage source. So this network is simplified. See the current, this direction. Let us take your current direction, this direction. In the problem, he is giving in this direction. I is flowing from plus to minus. Minus. Otherwise, I is equal to V by R equivalent. Is it visible? I is equal to V by R equivalent. In the numerator, write down V. I is flowing from plus to minus. Minus 6,000. I is flowing from minus to plus. Plus 10. I is flowing from minus to plus. Plus 6,000. Divided by these resistance, these two are in series. 50 and 150 are in series. In series, we will add the resistances. In series, we will add the resistances. 10 by 200. That is equal to
0.05.
See, we are getting the same answer in theorem also. If you apply superposition theorem, we are getting the same answer. So this is the verification. In verification, you can apply any method. Mesh analysis, nodal analysis, current divide rule, or voltage divide rule, or star delta network transformation, or source transformation, anything you apply. But you have to get the same answer. Whatever the answer you are getting in theorem, the same answer you have to get here. Okay. So go through the problem. If you are having trouble, you can ask.